Hello and good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Timm.
Timm, if you have not watched our channel or seen Timm before, not only does Timm, well, we'll start with the most important thing. Timm is the director of Dice Tower West. But Timm, you also do a couple other things involved in the board game industry. What's that?
I do. I own a Meepleville Board Game Cafe in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And you also have a YouTube channel.
I do. Yeah, I just started again, actually, doing More Than Meeples the Merrier. I'm not that active with that. That's why I kind of forgot that. I was real active. But, yeah, started doing that again. And I do have a Meepleville channel on YouTube. It's called Meepleville Channel, I guess.
Yeah, well, between running Dice Tower West and the Board Game Cafe, I'm shocked that you don't have more time. You're slacking.
I know. I don't get to play as many games as you do, Tom. That's the one drawback. I wish I could.
Well, there's two reasons for that. One of them is that's my job. And the other is that you tend to play a game 50 times if you can.
That is very true, too.
No, that's fine. I mean, you want to find the ins and outs and in-depth. Like, I don't know that I would want to. Some games, if I played with you, you'd whoop me all the way around the block because you played it so many times.
Oh, yeah. We had a session early last year. 10 sessions in a row. We played PAX Premier 2nd Edition, Barrage, and one other game. But it's like, and Gaia Project. That's what it was. Those 3 games, we played 10 sessions in a row. So that's the kind of person I am. If I like a game, I love to play it and play it and play it and play it.
All right. Excuse me, folks. We're talking here about Dice Tower West as a Q&A. This will go maybe an hour, maybe less. It's all up to you, folks. If you have questions about Dice Tower West, here's your chance to ask them. Dice Tower West, unfortunately, wasn't able to happen last year, but this year we're back, and there's some big changes. So we'll talk about the changes first. What's the biggest change, Timm?
Well, the biggest change is we're very fortunate that now we are at the Rio Hotel in Las Vegas, moving from the Westgate. So you've been with us since we were at the East Side Cannery, which is a small little hotel on the Boulder Highway.
I miss the Cannery. That's a lie. I don't miss the Cannery.
I know you don't. Yeah, that was a small little tiny hotel, what they call the Boulder Strip or whatever. It's off the strip. And then we went to the Westgate for 2 years, which was kind of okay. But now at the Rio, we're very, very happy. And for people who don't know exactly where the Rio is, so the Las Vegas, like the main part of the Las Vegas Strip, it's right over the highway, right on the other side of the highway from the hot corner, which is Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard, where you've got Caesars, Bellagio, Bally's, the Cromwell or whatever it's called now. So it's a really nice spot. And Tom, you actually walked it. It's only, what, like 17 minutes, you said, to get right down to the strip there?
Sure, it's a 17-minute Tom Vassell walk, but I don't walk. I wasn't walking particularly fast. It's also a really short Uber taxi drop-off. You know, you get a bunch of people. It's worth it. You know, a couple bucks a person. You know, to do that too if you want to just get there quickly and back.
Yeah, absolutely. But also the good thing about where the Rio is located is it's not on the strip, so the prices aren't like as high as they are for strip hotels, and they are very local friendly. And you're really close to the city. We got stuff right around us, so it's a really good location, a really great venue. So we're really excited to be there.
Yeah. So pertaining to the hotel, I stayed in the the rooms. They gave me a sample room to try out. Very happy with that. I really liked it. The room was great. But the convention space is amazing. I think we both agree about that.
It is. We have the whole entire Rio convention space. Just to let you guys know how good it is. That's where they hold, or they did hold, the World Series of Poker there, and because the World Series of Poker is moving next year. But yeah, it's phenomenal. Great venues. There's plenty of space, plenty of like restrooms. Got a little area right outside. You can go if you want to get some fresh air, and we have it all to ourselves. Yeah, we have it all to ourselves. So it's a long walk, which you probably remember, from the casino. So some of the concerns that people had were like, smoke and things like that. But there's going to be zero smoke because it's a long way from the casino. We're all by ourselves. We don't have random people or anything coming through. And it's just really, really great location.
And as an aside, I think I'm correct on this, Tim. It's free parking, right?
Oh, tons of free parking. That's a great point, Tom. So for anybody coming off out of town, it's right off the 15 there. It's right off the highway, and there's plenty of free parking, and the parking lot is right there. So you come in, and you're going to be right at the entrance of our convention.
All right, Core asks, does one have to bring games to play there? Or would it be possible to only bring a good mood and enjoy games with others?
Okay. Well, great question, Cora. I would say the second part is probably preferred. To just bring a good attitude, be in a good mood, and bring yourself and be ready to play. Because our library is massive. We've got a lot of games. Tom, you guarantee you're going to bring all the latest, greatest, hottest games. You've already said, correct?
Me and Tim are working together to make sure that we have the hot games there. And this actually answers the next question, which was from Troy, who says, how do you sign out games to be played and sign them back in? Do you have waiting lists for popular games? The second half of that question, we'll have an area called Hot Games where the games stay set up on a table. So say Boone Lake, Ark Nova, a couple popular games, whatever they are, they'll be set up on these tables. So you play it. When you're done, you leave it there so the next group comes in. That way the game you don't know where it is. You know where it is, and you can always play it.
Correct. So it'll always be there. But also, Cora, for her question as well, is you are more than welcome to bring your own games. And a lot of people do, because just like this question you alluded to here, Tom, is some people may have games, or that one hot game. For example, we were both at BGG, right? Trying to get to play Ark Nova or Boone Lake was tough because they were always played. So if you happen to have a copy of a game, you may want to bring it as well. So that way you can play it when you want, because sometimes games do get locked up a lot.
But seriously, folks, so back to the library. So Troy says, how do you sign out a game? We just scan it. You scan your badge, scan the game, you take it out. This is a huge library. I always tell people, if the game that you want to play isn't there, there's thousands of other ones. Tim, so thanks to some very generous donations and other things, and Tim put a lot of money and effort, and I've sent Tim games. There's so many games. And not only that, there's a section of the library that's going to have games that you might remember from your childhood.
Oh, yes. Not that you might remember, you will remember. So just so people know, at PAX Unplugged, they had an area called Classic Cardboard.
Yes.
And the theme of that was games that were published in the year 19, that started with a 19, so before the 2000s. So all the games in there were at least 21 years old. And there were a lot of people in there pretty much all the time playing games. We have probably 15 shelves full of games all the way from the 1940s up to 1999, and all TV show games, all the Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, but there's Go to the Head of the Class, Landslide, Mousetrap, just all those fun old games. And you'll be able to get a lot of, or even just look at games that you may have heard of that maybe your parents or even your grandparents played. So it's a great opportunity to try a whole lot of games.
And and there's still all the Euro games and Blood Rage, and all that stuff is there too. So don't feel like you're not gonna be able to play you don't have to play those old games, but I don't know, I'm gonna go play a couple of them just for nostalgia purposes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, exactly right, Tom. As you said, it's going to be a tremendous library that you'd be very happy to be at a board game convention with. Because as Tom said, we've got a lot of designer sections. We got like a Feld section with all of his games, Uwe Rosenberg, Eric Lang, like you said, with Blood Rage, Stegmeyer section, Red Raven or whatever. So all of the popular games you've been playing for the last few years, they'll all be there as well too.
I feel like some of these questions are being Timm has planted them in the audience, but all right. Dan says,
don't tell people that, Tom.
how can you connect with players who enjoy specific games or designers? Will there be an app or a BGG list?
Yes. So, yes, the 24th, which is Monday, I believe. No, Saturday. What's the day? 21st, 2nd, 3rd. It is Monday. That's when our app will sort of go live for us, the administrators. We're going to start, plugging in stuff, and then it will be active a few days later. So by February 1st, we have this brand new app that we're building, which will be able to connect people with each other. So you can schedule games, we can create lobbies, you can have a buddy system. So there will be plenty of access or ways for you to connect with other people who like the games that you play. But also, and I not just because it's our convention, Tom, right? But I have to be honest, and you would probably agree, that the player wanted signs, I've never seen more at any convention than at a Dice Tower convention. There are so many player wanted signs. The people are very warm and welcoming and wanting to play. So you'll always have the opportunity to play games.
So here's what I found. The best way, if you want to play games with people, the best way, if you hang out in the library area, other people are looking to play a game. And you might see two people looking at a game. You're like, oh, I like to play that game. There you go. Or you take a game like Timm said, put that players want it sign there, and look for and sit in an area where people walk by, and you never know. And if worse comes to worse, and I say this every convention, and I mean it, if you're like, I can't find anyone to play with, come find me, and I will get you players for a game. I will find them.
There you go.
It will happen.
Yes, and that's a good point that you brought that up. So when you say go find Tom, because the truth of the matter is, folks, we make sure we have a dedicated section for all of the Dice Tower people, right? They will be inside, and Tom makes a schedule, so they have to be there certain times of the day playing games. So there's you will never have to say, oh, I didn't see Mike, I didn't see Roy, Chris, or Tom or Z or whatever, because they're going to be there. They have certain places. There's an area you can always find the Dice Tower people to sit and try to play a game with if you want.
All right, Jacob says, hey, I've never been to one of your cons before, or any con at all, actually. What would you recommend for someone's first time?
So we are going to have, because Tom, you had mentioned this, and we're going to do this. We are going to have like a first-timers sort of introduction or like a get-together. So right at the con, real early on Wednesday, we can answer a lot of questions and stuff. But I don't know what to recommend. The recommend, again, is sort of like what the first question alluded to. Just bring a great attitude, a willingness to make friends, try a bunch of different games, and you will have a fantastic time.
Yeah, I always recommend not to come in with these grandiose expectations, but just to come in and have fun. Look, if you're like, I don't know what to do, look for a players want it sign. Jump in and play with people. Go to one of the events. Go to the hot games area. There's just go with the flow, and I think you'll have a good time. And like I said, if you're not having a good time, find me. I wear my fedoras. You can find me somewhere.
Yeah, but it's real easy to have a good time because it's all there for you. The games, the people, because you got a bunch of like-minded people who love the same thing you do, and that's playing games. And it's going to be fantastic.
Troy says, does the hotel allow people to bring in their own snacks and beverages to the gaming area?
Well, no. So you cannot bring outside food in the convention space, well, for a couple of things, all right? Because we do have the mask mandate, so you need to be wearing the mask. So we do have so in any of the playing areas and stuff like that, food is not allowed. Beverages are just like a drink is the only thing that's really allowed. People need to hydrate and drink and stuff. But we're going to have a dedicated food court or area in the convention space, and that's where we'll be selling food so people can purchase and stuff. But no, food and snacks are not allowed in the playing area.
Adam wants to know, will there be marble races at Dice Tower West?
Ha! Great question.
I really feel like you fed these questions, Timm. I'm starting to feel
No, see, here's the good thing, Tom, right? This is what people want, and this is what we've been working really hard to make sure that we are, getting their requests, getting the things they want and need. So, yes, so Tom put me in touch with the designer of his big marble racing, and we are getting a custom-made Dice Tower West. Not getting made, it is made, and it is being delivered. We just, what's his name? David? Is that right, Tom? I
Yes,
forgot his name.
David Killing.
Yeah, David. So I just worked it out, sent David the payment last week. He's got, shipping it, and we're getting our own dedicated Dice Tower West marble racing here. So yes, we will have marble racing.
I'm going to bring some marbles in, folks, but this is one of those times you bring your own marble. If you're listening to this and you want to be involved, bring a marble for the races. We'll have more information. I'll give Tim, me and Tim actually haven't come to the details of when and how and if and who, but we'll set that up and we'll let you know more information as it soon.
Yeah, so you have like a marble corral, Tom. You keep you keep your marbles with the names and stuff in a certain pen or a stable.
You think I don't? I definitely do. All right. Patrick says, I'm a night shifter. Is there gaming happening around the clock, and is it pretty active at night?
Okay, so the gaming, the con officially opens at 10 o'clock Wednesday, March 2nd. And from 10 o'clock Wednesday, March 2nd until 3 p.m. Sunday, the library and gaming is 24/7. So there is always opportunity. And to be perfectly honest, like Tom, so Tom and I are definitely on opposite schedules.
Amen to that. That's why we're good roommates.
Yes, I know, right? Because Tom will be getting up to leave to start his day, and I'm coming in for the night. But yeah, so I would honestly say Tom can talk in the early part, but on the late part, I would say up until about 2:30 in the morning. Maybe between 2 and 3 is when it starts to ebb a little bit, but up until that point, it's pretty active, and you still get some night owl. Yeah, you still get some night owls, but I'd say 2 and 3 is a good time when it starts to slow a little bit. And Tom, on the other end, in the early part, when would you say it starts to pick up in the morning?
Yeah, it's pretty slow at the beginning usually. Like I usually come in around 6:30. There's a few people playing games, but by the time 8, there's a lot of people there. 9, 10. By 10, it's like boom. It just bubbles and groans. But, sometimes it's possible. At the Dice Tower West last time we did it, I want to say between 5 and 6, there might have been periods where there was nobody or only one person in there. But since our numbers have gone up tremendously, I'm not seeing that happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, you do have, because we do have staff, right, during those times, like the sort of like midnight shift or the overnight shift is 3 in the morning till 7 in the morning. So we do have people staffed at that time. But I would say out of the whole entire con, that 3 to 7 block is probably the smallest, slowest time. But other than that, you're going to be able to find people to game with.
Nicholas says, for games that are already set out, the hot games area, will there be instructors to teach it, or should we be fairly comfortable with the game's rules before sitting down at the table?
So that's a very good question. One of the things we like to do, I mean, other cons do this as well, is sort of like a pay it forward, right? So if you're sitting at a hot games area with a game that you've played, and there are people like standing there or waiting to come and play that next game, pay it forward. Stay for another 15 or 20 minutes if you can. Get them set up, get them started, maybe help teach them, and then get them right into the game. And then also, we put the hot games area right next to the Dice Tower and special guest area. So a lot of those people are in there too. So you can probably grab one of those people who've already played the game and help you. So it's pretty easy to find a teacher to help you with the game.
Yeah, and I'm going to be buzzing around that area a decent amount, and I know most of the games, and there will be teachers around floating, and it's also not the end of the world if you sit down at a hot game and learn to play it straight there, and I mean, that's how it's going to work anyway. No one's going to sit there and go, if you don't know how to play this game, leave. Well, we want games to be played. David says, what if you attend alone? What do you do if you're afraid that people will dislike or hate you? So, again, we build the Dice Tower conventions as the friendliest conventions around. And, I mean, if you're not friendly towards other people, you're not welcome at my cons. I want that to be happening. So I want you to be encouraged by that. And the Dice Tower staff and all the folks I'm bringing in. We love talking to people. Again, if you feel like out of your element, come find one of us. Come find someone who's wearing a Dice Tower West volunteer badge. We'll help find people who will have a fun time playing games with you.
Yeah, and just to tag on to that, Tom, also with the player wanted signs and just walking around seeing, you'll find friends or your community, right? Because there's going to be those people who are, say, playing the 18xx games, right? And you're like, oh, my people. Or there's going to be the people who are playing, I don't know, werewolf or like production games. You're going to be like, my people. So there's going to be like, something for everyone there.
Patrick says, I've been to the retreat, but not a full Dice Tower Con. What differences should I expect? Great. I was hoping someone would ask this question. So,
all right, that one was for you, Tom, right? You planted that one.
Well, no, I didn't, but I'm trying to been leading you into this because there's something I'm really excited about this con. So first of all, it's a bigger library and there's more people. That's one big change. There's just going to be a lot more people, a lot more buzzing. Then there's two other differences. One, we have events here. Not a ton of events, but there's some events. One of the ones I'm excited about is me, Z, and Sam back together doing a top 10 list, that you'll be able to come to. So that's going to be fun. And there's going to be several events. We mentioned marble races. There'll be several events, a wits and wagers game, things that you can get involved in. But the other is the exhibitors. And we're not talking like 5 exhibitors. What's the number now, Tim?
All right. So we are right under 40. I can't know the exact number, between about 35 and 40.
Folks, I don't think you realize how many exhibitors that is for the convention this size. You're going to have so many things to look at and buy, and there's some big name companies coming in, small companies, board game adjacent stuff. I know this because Tim can confirm this. I look at every exhibitor to see what they're bringing in and looking at. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, yeah. And just to talk about that a little bit, Tom. Yeah, so we do have a lot of exhibitors. And folks, please make sure you go and you visit the exhibitors, all right? Check them out, see them, because that is one of the top 3 things, one of the reasons people come to a convention, because we asked, one of the things they look forward to, and exhibitors is one of them. So go visit them, go see them, check out what they have to offer. But on top of that, Tom, not only do we have between 35 and 40 exhibitors, we have we're right around 20. It's just either just under or just over demo tables. So there are plenty of companies. Some of the companies are like Amigo, Capstone, Flat Out Games, who aren't going to be exhibiting, but they do have a demo table there, and there will be some of their games out being taught and demoed. So not just exhibitor companies that are going to be represented there, but companies will be represented in demo tables as well. So it's going to be fantastic.
And that's another answer if you're like, I don't know what to do. Those companies will always teach you their games.
That is true.
They'll be glad to do that.
Yes, exactly right. So again, there's going to be opportunities for, again, I get this question a lot, and I'm sure you do, Tom. What if I come by myself? You are going to have so many opportunities to meet people, to do things. And it's just going to be great. So coming by yourself or coming with a group, it's going to be just as much fun for you.
I missed this question earlier, but someone says, how do we get our badges?
Oh, how do you get your badges? We have there's the registration area. So right when you come, and what we do at Dice Tower West to make sure we do not have a backlog, is to open up registration early. So on Tuesday night, before the con, I think we're going to do it from about 7 to 10. We are going to open registration in the registration area so people can get their badges early. And then we open at 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So there's not a big line like exactly at 10 o'clock. The con won't open until 10, but come down at 7:30, pick up your badge, go have breakfast, and then when you come back, you'll be able to skip the line and all that kind of stuff and get in easy. So we don't want any waiting, no backlog ever, but just get your badge right at the con. And also for people who had their badge rolled over from 2021 to this, you are all set. You are in the system. You will have your badge. If you pre-ordered and paid for a t-shirt, that'll be there too. Everything is all set for all of those people who had their badge rolled over, but you get your badge right at the registration area, and it's real easy peasy.
That was actually the next question. So Tim is now starting to answer questions before they are asked.
The amazing Karnak up here.
Jacob wants to know if we still need volunteers.
I think we're kind of close, but we could all use volunteers for different things. So there's a couple of things. Yes. So I highly recommend contacting Christina at dicetowerwest.com. She is our volunteer coordinator, so she's handling all of that. And also, there is Vinny from Double Exposure is handling the demo table people. So he's going to need envoys or demo people. So you might be able to volunteer with that route also. But worst case scenario, send me Timm, Timm at dicetowerwest.com, Timm at dicetowerwest.com, an email, and I'll put you in touch with the right people if you were looking to volunteer.
All right, Daryl wants to know, are there any con specials for dining?
Con specials for dining? Not particularly. I mean, it's one of those kind of things. I'm still working on a lot of that stuff, and also some of the restaurants still aren't open yet, right? They haven't really fully opened, or they're open limited times. Like right up from the convention, there's Hash House A Go-Go, which is only open on the weekends now. I don't know if Guy Fieri's place is open again. And there's a taco place or things like that.
So that place you mentioned, that Hash, what's it called again?
Hash House A Go-Go.
Okay, so I went there, not to this one. I went to the one in Orlando, and you might not guess it from looking at me, but I like to eat. Holy cow!
Yes.
It's like, if you get a meal there, you might consider splitting it with somebody.
Yeah, it's massive. But I will work on that. Let me go ahead and make a note, because that is on my list. I just got to make sure I get to that. But about the food specials.
Sean says, how many people are expected to attend at this point?
So we are registered badges. We have I can't remember the number. Like people who actually purchase badges and stuff, we have around 1,850, I think, 1,900, somewhere around there. And then, of course, we have comp badges, we have special guests, we have vendors and exhibitors. So we're probably going to have between 21 and 2,300.
Now, if that worries you with space-wise, realize the space we're in could easily hold 8,000 people.
Yes. Thank you, Tom, for bringing that up.
Don't worry about space issues. And overcrowding. Don't worry about that.
Yes, and that is one of the things. Just last week, I have started with the layout, and we have 3 feet between each table, and whether it's 8 feet this way or whatever. But yeah, there's going to be room spread out. It's going to have a lot of space. So yeah, just like Tom said, don't really worry about that at all. It's going to be very comfortable. You will see it's a huge, massive space.
Yes. It feels it's as big as the space where Origins is held. It's probably not. It's probably smaller than Origins, but it definitely feels quite large.
It is. It's. I think it's over like 150,000 square feet. So it's big.
Casey wants to know if Dice Tower West a good place to network. He's looking for work in the board game industry. Maybe, but I wouldn't go in with. I mean, people are there to play games and sell games.
True. People are there to play games and sell games, just like Tom said. However, it is a board game industry event per se. I mean, it's an event within the board gaming industry, and there's going to be people there from every single facet of the industry. But the best way to meet them, as we've been talking about, is to play games with them, get to know people. There's going to be artists, there's going to be publishers, there's going to be designers, there's going to be content creators. There's going to be people from every single asset, but the best way to meet people is by playing games and just getting to know them.
Alrighty here. Let's see. Again, I want to emphasize that there will be lots of different special events. There is a prototype con. Tim, do you want to talk about the prototype stuff?
Yes. So the prototype con is because people like, look, all of us, I'm sure, right? Many of us have a game we've designed sitting in a Ziploc bag somewhere in the closet. And this is just a chance for people like that, or people who are designers who are trying to get games started. We have a dedicated area that's being run by Darlene. Darlene is a very, very active board game designer here in Las Vegas. She runs a monthly design meetup, and she is very, very good. And she's going to be running the whole prototype area, but it's for people to, again, for like-minded people to have dedicated space where they can come play games. And it's also for attendees who just like to play test and try games and see how a game is developed. So, yeah, there's plenty of opportunity for people who either just want to check out prototypes and play test, or people who have prototypes themselves.
All righty. Let's see here. Jumping on. Will there be a vlog posted to the channel after the event? Hopefully. What we've done with our vlogs, if you've noticed at the last conventions, is we all take a vlog of the event, and then Chris mashes it all together, and that way you get to see multiple perspectives of the con, not just one.
Right. But Tom, there are things that you definitely do, right? Like some of the things you do are like the top. You do a top 10, right, of games that were played at the con.
Oh yeah, sure. Because if you give me the stats, and I'm sure you will.
Yes.
I'll do a list of stuff on that too. Now I will say this: I cannot and will not promise that the events at the con will be videoed and posted online. Maybe. It might happen, but I'm not promising that. So if you really want to see them, you might want to come. Now, that being said, ticket sales are closed. However, Tim?
Tickets are still available. Here's the thing. We will not turn anybody away, okay? So people understand, in order to put on a big event and stuff like this, there is a lot of upfront money you have to pay, or money you get locked into. So we don't offer refunds for that reason. We closed online badge sales on the 15th of this month, and the reason we do that is for people to sell their badges. If their plans have changed, they can go ahead and sell their badges, and it's been going hot. I mean, they're sold. People put them up. People are buying them right away, so that's going around. And at the door, it's just a $20 upcharge for either the 3-day or the 5-day badge, but you will be able to buy badges at the door, and we have exceeded our hotel block, which is fantastic. But the Rio has assured me that hotel rooms are still available. They will honor our current block rate, and I will get plenty of notice to notify anybody when that's going to be cut off. So rooms are still available as well.
Daniel wants to know, is there a list online of the games of the library?
Yes. You can go to either... I think it's Dice Tower West Library on BGG. I'm really sorry. I should probably know this information. Or you can go to, I think it's library.dicetowerwest.com. You can go ahead and check there. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be probably, 6,500 games on there or something. Not every single one of them are going to be at the con. There's probably going to be at least, 4,500 of them there. And we're working on a system to let you know exactly what's going to be there. But yeah, that'll give you an idea of what's there. And one of the things that I've been working really, really hard on is to make sure we have as many of the top 1,000 games on the BGG ranking from 1 to 1,000. And as of now, we are just over 900. They're not all in there yet because they're still at the warehouse getting punched, getting bagged, sorted, and all that kind of stuff. But we're just over 900 of the top 1,000 BGG games.
All right. Sean says, what's the recommended way to get arrangements for transportation from the airport to the hotel, assuming we're not renting a car? This one, sometimes Tim has picked me up, but he can't pick everyone up. I have done this multiple times, and it is so easy to get a taxi or an Uber. Because everyone is doing it. It's like the main thing. And you say, Rio, boom, they're going to take you right there. And the airport's not particularly far anyway. It's a pretty inexpensive ride.
It is, yeah. And if people haven't been to Las Vegas before, the airport is like literally on the Strip. It's like right there across from Mandalay Bay. It's right on the Strip.
It's a pretty quick, like I said, it's a quick ride. And you might see someone else wearing a board game shirt, and then you can carpool with them even, if you want to.
Yep. Yeah, but just like any other airport, they have the dedicated, ride share spots. The taxis are right out front. So as Tom mentioned, it's extremely easy.
All right. Well, man, I think we almost caught up with questions. So, Tim, maybe we could talk, the events, for some reason, the event schedule is like slipping my mind. I mentioned the top 10. What other events are going on?
Okay, yeah. So again, we're going to have a new timers, get together so we can talk about, help you through, give you answer questions and stuff. We have wits and wagers. We have marble racing. We have some panels and shows. We have talking about, content creation. We have game design. We have Panda Manufacturing is going to be there. So they're going to be talking. So I'm really excited about this because this is Panda has a company in China that manufactures games, and a lot of the great games, right, Tom? I don't know if you know.
They actually manufacture the stuff that we have as our rewards in the Dice Tower.
Oh, okay, there you go. So this will be a great opportunity to talk to people in the industry, like why is the shipping so bad? What's going on? How to make games, cost, all that kind of stuff. So that's real exciting. We'll have our shows. So Tom has 2 big shows on Thursday with the Dice Tower show, and Saturday with, as he mentioned, with Z, Sam, and Tom doing a top 10, getting together. We have Paula Deming doing a one-woman show on Friday night. We're real excited about that. We have like the R&R show with Rado and Ruel. We have the Brothers Murph who are doing their show too. And we have a couple other panels too, but we have a lot of stuff for you. And, this is real exciting. Speaking about shows, and this isn't a Dice Tower show, so you're probably wondering, why am I so excited about it? Because I have worked out a deal for attendees to go see Penn and Teller. Now, what's so good about having conventions in Las Vegas is because it is the entertainment capital of the world. And the Penn and Teller Theater is literally right down the hall from our convention space. So we're getting a deal where you will be able to get a great, I don't know whether it's 2 for 1 or whatever they're offering us, but to go see a Penn and Teller show too while you're in Vegas. So yeah, we're trying to do as much as we can for you.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I like the Penn and Teller show a lot. I'm a big Magic fan.
Yeah.
Jacob says, how do I...
When you were here in so when Tom came out, when did you come out, in like June or something? We went to go see the Magic show at the Stratosphere, and it was Tom, Dave, and I, and the guy Tom caught the ball or whatever, right, to go up on stage, and he immediately gave it to Dave because he didn't want to go up on stage.
I don't want to be hogging stage all the time. No, he told us to pass it around. I was passing it around. All right. Jacob says, how do I sign up for the newcomer thing?
There's no sign up for that. I mean, it'll be posted, but it's going to be in our like dedicated theater area, so you can come. And again, I apologize, folks. There's just so much work, but we're going to have the schedule, everything up by February 1st. We're really trying hard, and you'll just be able to go and attend that.
All righty, let's see. It looks like we've caught up on questions. Again, folks, if you've never been to one of these before, the main focus here is playing games. There is the 2 very secondary side focuses of there's 3, I guess. There's the content creators and the prototype stuff. There's the exhibitor hall, which you definitely want to go see, and there are the shows. But the number one thing is about playing games. And then in the background is Vegas.
Yes.
If you come and say, I can't find any place to eat, you need to leave the city. Okay? There are so many places to eat. I will never eat at all the places in Vegas. There's too many.
There is too many. And also, just so everybody knows, the Rio, where it's located, is about I want to say a half a mile, I don't know exactly, but from Chinatown, which is Spring Mountain Road, which runs from Valley View up to Jones. And the Asian food there is phenomenal. Literally every type of Asian food you can think of is right there. So there's plenty of food options. Right across the street, there's like a Taco Bell and a Denny's. And again, the good thing about Rio is we're sort of in the city off the strip. So you're going to be able to have very inexpensive eating options. Right in the Rio, there's like a smash burger too. So, there's things like that as well.
There's also a very nice Chinese restaurant there.
Oh, yes. And they do dim sum during the day or on the weekends. I forgot what it was. Wonderful dim sum. Yeah, that's right. We ate at that Chinese restaurant. That's right. There's an Indian restaurant there. There's a steakhouse. There's several restaurants.
Korean restaurant.
Right?
There's a Korean restaurant there.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's see here. We're gonna shut this down now here, folks. But there is a Facebook group for Dice Tower West, and you can join that, ask questions, and of course, when I do my live Q&As up to then, I'm excited about this. It's closer than I thought, you know. I look at the schedule, I'm closer there. But I'll tell you what, in the past, I've had a great time in Dice Tower West. So as a personal tip, if you're not from the area and you're flying in, I recommend that you bring some chapstick. Seems like an odd thing, but it's very dry there. And when you're there, hydrate, especially since you're not there, because you don't realize how dry it is. And so that's pretty much. Is that a cat? You're ruining my stream, Tim.
Oh, that's right. Tom doesn't like cats. Hey, Mitten, say hello to Tom. Say hello to Tom.
I've never seen a cat that color before. That's pretty cool.
Oh, look at her face too. She's like a chimera. She's got like the split face, a little line down the middle of her face. Yeah, she's really needy and really loud, and she just woke up. So okay, go ahead, go down. Sorry about that.
You should be. All righty. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, for coming on board and asking questions. And we look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be great. But this is the end of the Q&A. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Timm.
We'll see you all later. Bye.